The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council buzzed with nervous energy. Delegates from 1,000 worlds filled the massive chamber, their voices a mix of different languages and tones. Some spoke in hushed whispers, while others argued loudly. Fear hung in the air like a thick fog. High Counselor Zix, a tall blue-skinned alien with 4 arms, called for order. His voice boomed through the hall, silencing the crowd. Fellow members of the Galactic Council, he began, his voice grave. We face a threat unlike any we have seen before. The giant screen behind him lit up, showing a star map of the galaxy. Red dots began to appear, spreading like a disease across the map. Each dot represented a world that had fallen to the enemy. The Void Horde continues to advance, Zix continued. They have destroyed 15 more worlds since our last meeting. Our best fleets have failed to stop them. Our strongest weapons seem useless against their technology. Gasps and cries of dismay filled the hall. The Void Horde had appeared 6 months ago, emerging from the unexplored regions of the galaxy. They were a race of beings that seemed to be made of living darkness. Their ships could appear and disappear at will, making them almost impossible to fight. What are we going to do? Cried out a small furry delegate from the planet Merlo. My world is in the path of the Horde. We will be next. Similar cries came from other delegates. Panic began to spread through the hall. Zix raised all 4 of his hands, calling for calm. We are not defeated yet, he said, though his voice lacked conviction. Our scientists are working day and night to find a way to stop the Horde. We must not lose hope. But hope was in short supply. The Council had existed for 10,000 years, maintaining peace and order across the galaxy. Now, for the first time, they faced an enemy they couldn't understand or defeat. As the meeting continued, reports came in of more worlds falling to the Horde. The red dots on the map multiplied, creeping closer to the heart of Council space. In a quiet corner of the hall, 2 delegates spoke in hushed tones. Have you heard the rumors? Asked Glix, a reptilian being from a desert world. They say there's a new race that's joined the galaxy, a species that's not part of the Council. Fren, his companion, a being made of living crystal, sparkled with interest. I've heard whispers. They call themselves humans, right? From a planet called Earth. Glix nodded. Yes. And they say these humans are different, unpredictable. Some even say they might be able to help against the Horde. Fren's crystalline form shimmered with doubt. How could a single species help when the entire Council has failed? It's probably just false hope. As they spoke, the main doors of the hall burst open. A messenger rushed in, his face pale with shock. He ran straight to High Counselor Zix, whispering urgently in his ear. Zix's 4 eyes widened in disbelief. He turned to address the hall, his voice shaking. We have just received word. The Void Horde has breached our outer defenses. They will reach the Council homeworld in less than a week. Chaos erupted in the hall. Delegates shouted in fear and anger. Some began to weep openly. Others called for immediate evacuation. In the midst of the pandemonium, Zix's voice cut through once more. There is one more piece of news, he said. The hall fell silent, all eyes turning to him. We have received a transmission from a previously unknown world on the edge of our space. They call themselves humans. Murmurs of confusion spread through the crowd. Zix continued, his voice filled with a mix of hope and uncertainty. These humans say they have encountered the Void Horde, and they claim they can help us fight them. The hall exploded with questions and exclamations. Could it be true? Could this unknown race succeed where the mighty Galactic Council had failed? As the delegates argued and debated, no one noticed the small dark shape that slipped out of the hall. Hidden in the shadows, a pair of glowing red eyes watched the proceedings. The Void Horde spy had much to report to its masters. The galaxy stood on the brink of change. The Galactic Council faced its darkest hour. And somewhere out there, a young species called humanity prepared to enter the galactic stage. The war for the fate of the galaxy was about to begin. The small blue and green planet spun quietly in the vast emptiness of space. Earth, home to humanity, had no idea it was about to step onto the galactic stage. In a secret underground facility, General Sarah Chen paced back and forth. Her dark eyes scanned the room, taking in the advanced technology and the nervous faces of her team. "Play it again," she ordered. A holographic screen flickered to life. On it, a strange alien face appeared. It had blue skin and 4 eyes. The alien spoke in a series of clicks and whistles. Dr. James Wilson, the lead linguist, cleared his throat. "As I translated before, General, it's a distress call. They're asking for help against something called the Void Horde." Chen nodded, her face serious. "And you're sure they're talking about those black ships we encountered last month?" "Yes, Mom," Wilson replied. "The description matches perfectly." Chen remembered that encounter all too well. A fleet of strange, black ships had appeared near Jupiter. They had attacked without warning, destroying 3 of Earth's defense satellites before disappearing as quickly as they had come. "What do we know about this Galactic Council?" Chen asked. A young scientist stepped forward. "Not much, General. But from what we can gather, they're like a United Nations for the galaxy. Hundreds of alien races are part of it." Chen raised an eyebrow. "And they're asking us for help. Why?" "It seems," Wilson said slowly, "that we're the only ones who've successfully fought off the Void Horde." A murmur ran through the room. Their small victory against the black ships had been costly. They had only won because of a lucky shot that revealed a weakness in the enemy's shields. Chen turned to face the room. "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a decision to make. Do we reveal ourselves to this Galactic Council? Do we offer our help?" The room erupted in debate. Some argued it was too risky, that Earth should focus on defending itself. Others said this was humanity's chance to join the galactic community. As the argument raged, Chen's communicator beeped. She looked down and her face paled. "Quiet," she shouted. The room fell silent. "We've just detected a large fleet of ships entering our solar system," Chen announced. "They match the Council's description. They'll reach Earth in less than 48 hours. Panic threatened to break out, but Chen's voice cut through the fear. "We're out of time for debate. We need to make a decision now. I say we answer the Council's call. We show them what humanity can do." One by one, the others nodded in agreement. It was a risk, but it was their best chance. "Dr. Wilson," Chen said, "prepare a response to the Council. Tell them Earth answers their call. We'll meet them at the edge of our solar system." As Wilson hurried to compose the message, Chen turned to her military advisors. "I want every ship we have ready to launch. Arm them with our new phase-shift torpedoes. If these Void Horde ships show up, we'll give them a fight they won't forget." The next 24 hours were a blur of activity. All around the world, secret facilities sprang into action. Ships that humanity had been building in secret for years were brought out of hiding. Weapons were loaded, crews were briefed. And in every major city on Earth, people looked up at the sky with a mix of fear and excitement. The governments of the world had decided it was time to tell the public the truth. Humanity was not alone in the universe, and their first meeting with alien life was about to be on the battlefield. As Earth's fleet assembled in orbit, General Chen stood on the bridge of the flagship, the EDS Horizon. Through the view screen, she could see hundreds of ships, representing every nation on Earth, united for the first time in history. "General," a young officer called out, "we're detecting the Council ships. They'll be here in 10 minutes." Chen nodded, her heart racing. This was it, the moment that would change human history forever. "All ships, battle formation," she ordered. "Let's show the galaxy what humanity can do." As the Council ships appeared, sleek and alien, Earth's fleet moved to meet them, and behind them, hidden in the darkness of space, lurked the sinister ships of the Void Horde, watching and waiting. The stage was set. Humanity's first step into the galactic community would be one of fire and battle. The war for the fate of the galaxy was about to truly begin. The space around Earth buzzed with activity. Human ships, sleek and armed to the teeth, faced the alien vessels of the Galactic Council. Tension filled the air as the two fleets sized each other up. On board the EDS Horizon, General Sarah Chen took a deep breath. "Open a channel to the Lid Council ship," she ordered. The view screen flickered to life, revealing the alien face of High Counselor Zix. His 4 eyes widened in surprise as he saw Chen. "Greetings," Chen said, her voice steady. "I am General Sarah Chen of Earth. We received your distress call, and we're here to help." Zix blinked rapidly, a sign of confusion in his species. You are the humans?" he asked, his translator turning his clicks and whistles into English. "But you look so similar to us." Chen smiled slightly. "We come in many shapes and colors, Counselor. But yes, we are human." The alien leader seemed to gather himself. "Forgive me, General Chen. We are surprised. We expected a more advanced race, given your victory against the Void Horde." Chen's smile faded. "Don't underestimate us, Counselor. We may be new to the galactic stage, but we're quick learners and determined fighters." Before Zix could respond, alarms blared on both ships. A young human officer shouted, "General, multiple Void Horde ships detected entering the system." Chen's face hardened. "Looks like we'll have a chance to prove ourselves sooner than expected, Counselor. Are your ships ready for battle?" Zix looked panicked. We are not prepared for this. Our weapons have little effect on the Horde ships." "Then follow our lead," Chen said firmly. "All ships, battle formations. Prepare phase shift torpedoes." The human fleet moved with practiced precision, forming a protective barrier around the Council ships. The Void Horde vessels, black as night and seemingly made of shifting shadows, approached rapidly. "Fire at will," Chen ordered. Human ships launched their torpedoes. The weapons phased in and out of normal space, slipping past the Horde's defenses. Explosions blossomed across the enemy fleet. Zix watched in amazement. "Impossible. How did you penetrate their shields?" Chen allowed herself a small smile. "Sometimes thinking outside the box pays off, Counselor." But the battle was far from over. The Void Horde, recovering from their surprise, began to retaliate. Their weapons, beams of pure darkness, lanced out towards the human and Council ships. "Evasive maneuvers," Chen shouted. Most of the human ships dodged in time, but 2 smaller vessels were hit. They exploded in silent bursts of fire and debris. Chen gritted her teeth. "All ships, concentrate fire on the lead Horde vessel. Let's take out their commander." The human fleet focused their attack, pummeling the largest enemy ship with torpedoes and energy weapons. For a moment, it seemed to work. The Horde ship's defenses flickered. But then something unexpected happened. The damaged Horde ship seemed to melt, its form shifting and changing. It split into 3 smaller vessels, each one immediately joining the attack. "What the hell?" Chen muttered. She turned to Zix on the view screen. "Counselor, have you ever seen them do that before?" Zix looked as shocked as she felt. "Never, General. This is new." The battle raged on, with both sides taking heavy losses. The human ships fought bravely, their unusual tactics keeping the Void Horde off balance. But the enemy's ability to change shape and split apart made them incredibly difficult to destroy. After what felt like hours, Chen made a difficult decision. "All ships, fall back to Earth orbit. We need to regroup and rethink our strategy." As the battered fleet retreated, Chen turned to Zix. "Counselor, I think it's time we had a long talk. We need to share everything we know about the Horde if we're going to beat them." Zix nodded solemnly. "Agreed, General. It seems we have much to learn from each other." As the ships of 2 vastly different civilizations limped back to Earth together, a new alliance was born. Humanity had proven its worth in battle, earning the respect of the Galactic Council. But the war was far from over. In the darkness of space, the remaining Void Horde ships regrouped. They had underestimated these humans, but they wouldn't make that mistake again. The next battle would decide the fate of Earth, the Council, and the entire galaxy. The unlikely allies had won the first round, but the true test was yet to come. The war room inside the underground facility buzzed with activity. Humans and aliens worked side by side, their differences forgotten in the face of a common enemy. General Sarah Chen stood at the center, her eyes fixed on a holographic display of the solar system. "The Void Horde has retreated beyond Neptune," she said, addressing the mixed group of human and alien leaders. "But they'll be back, and in greater numbers." High Counselor Zix nodded, his 4 eyes blinking rapidly. "You are correct, General. We must use this time wisely to prepare." Dr. James Wilson, the linguist who had first translated the Council's distress call, stepped forward. "We've been analyzing the data from the battle," he said. "The Horde's ability to split and reform their ships is unlike anything we've seen before." Indeed, a crystalline being named Friend chimed in, its body sparkling as it spoke. "This is new to us as well. The Horde is evolving, adapting to our tactics." Chen's face hardened. "Then we need to evolve faster. Dr. Wilson, what have you learned about their communication?" Wilson pulled up a series of complex waveforms on the display. "It's fascinating, really. They don't use traditional signals. It's more like quantum entanglement. They're communicating instantly across vast distances." "Can we disrupt it?" Chen asked. A young human scientist named Aisha Patel spoke up. "Maybe. We're working on a quantum interference device. If it works, we could cut off their ships from their main fleet." Zix's antenna twitched with excitement. "Remarkable. Our scientists never considered such an approach." Chen allowed herself a small smile. "Sometimes a fresh perspective helps. Now, about our weapons." The meeting continued for hours. Humans shared their innovative tactics and technologies, while the Council members offered their vast knowledge of galactic geography and the Horde's previous attacks. As the session wound down, Chen addressed the group once more. "We've made good progress, but we need more. I want every ship upgraded with our latest tech. Council members, we'll need your help to expand our fleet." Zix bowed his head. "Of course, General. We will provide whatever resources we can." As the others filed out, Chen noticed a small, furry alien looking troubled. It was Glix, the reptilian being who had first heard rumors about humans. "Is something wrong, Glix?" Chen asked. Glix looked up, startled. "Oh, General. I was just thinking. The Void Horde, they've never attacked like this before. It's almost as if they're specifically targeting Earth." Chen frowned. "What do you mean?" "Well," Glix continued, "they usually spread out, attacking multiple systems. But now, they're focused here. I can't help but wonder why." Chen's mind raced. Could Earth have something the Horde wanted, or were they simply seen as the biggest threat? Before she could ponder further, alarms blared throughout the facility. Chen rushed to the command center, Glix hot on her heels. "Report," she barked as she entered. A young lieutenant looked up, his face pale. "General, we're detecting massive energy readings from the edge of the solar system. It's like a tear in space itself." On the main screen, a swirling vortex of darkness appeared. From its depths, hundreds of Void Horde ships emerged. Chen's blood ran cold. This was no ordinary attack. This was an invasion. "Sound the alarm," she ordered, her voice steady despite the fear gripping her heart. "All ships to battle stations, and get me the Council leaders. We're going to need every ship, every weapon, every soldier we can muster." As the facility erupted into frantic activity, Chen turned to Glix. "Looks like we're about to find out why they're so interested in Earth," she said grimly. Glix nodded, his scales shimmering with nervous energy. "May the stars have mercy on us all," he whispered. "The final battle for Earth, for the Council, for the entire galaxy, was about to begin. Humanity and their new allies would be tested like never before. The fate of everything hung in the balance. And somewhere in the vast darkness of space, the true leader of the Void Horde watched and waited, ready to reveal its ultimate plan. The void of space erupted into chaos. Earth's combined fleet, a mix of sleek human ships and the diverse vessels of the Galactic Council, faced the oncoming storm of Void Horde ships pouring out of the massive dark portal. On the bridge of the EDS horizon, General Sarah Chen's voice rang out, clear and determined. All ships, engage the enemy. Remember your training and watch each other's backs. The Human Council Alliance sprang into action. Torpedoes streaked across space, phasing in and out of reality to bypass the Horde's shields. Energy beams lanced out, cutting through the darkness. High Counselor Zix, commanding the Council's flagship, coordinated with Chen. General, our sensors detect a massive energy source at the center of the Horde fleet. It could be their command ship. Chen nodded grimly. Understood. Alpha Squadron, form up on me. We're going for the heart of the beast. As Chen's strike team plunged into the fray, the rest of the Allied fleet fought desperately to hold the line. Human ingenuity paired with alien technology in ways never seen before. Ships danced in complex maneuvers, their crews working in perfect sync despite their differences. Dr. James Wilson's voice crackled over the comms. General, we're ready to activate the quantum interference device, but we need to get closer to the portal. Understood, Chen replied. Bravo Squadron, escort Dr. Wilson's ship. Get that device in range at all costs. The battle raged on. Void Horde ships split and reformed, trying to confuse the Allies. But the humans and Council races had trained for this. They adapted quickly, using the Horde's tricks against them. Suddenly, a massive shadow loomed over Chen's squadron. A Void Horde ship twice the size of any they'd seen before appeared. Its surface rippled like living darkness. This is it, Chen muttered. The command ship. All ships, concentrate fire. The Allied ships poured everything they had into the massive vessel. For a moment, it seemed to work. The ship's surface buckled and warped. But then, something unexpected happened. The command ship began to glow with an eerie purple light. Tendrils of energy reached out, latching onto nearby Horde ships. The smaller vessels were pulled in, absorbed into the larger one. What the hell? Chen gasped. Zix's voice came through, filled with horror. By the stars, it's consuming its own fleet to heal itself. As the Allied forces watched in shock, the command ship grew even larger. It now dwarfed everything else on the battlefield. Fall back, Chen ordered. Regroup at. Her words were cut off as a beam of pure darkness lanced out from the giant ship. It cut through 3 Allied vessels like they were nothing. Panic threatened to overtake the Allied fleet. But then, a new voice joined the comms. It was Aisha Patel, the young scientist who had worked on the quantum device. General, we figured it out, she shouted excitedly. The Horde, they're not just after Earth. They're after what's beneath it. What are you talking about? Chen demanded, dodging another attack from the command ship. The Earth's core, Aisha explained quickly. It's unique in the galaxy. The combination of elements, the magnetic field, the Horde needs it to stabilize their portal technology. That's why they're so focused on Earth. Chen's mind raced. This changed everything. Dr. Wilson, is the quantum device ready? Yes, General, Wilson replied. But we need to get it inside that command ship to affect the whole fleet. Chen took a deep breath. She knew what had to be done. Understood. All ships, focus fire on the command ship center. Create an opening. I'm taking the horizon in. General, no. Zix protested. It's too dangerous. It's our only shot, Chen said firmly. Sometimes you have to make the hard call. All hands, prepare for impact. We're going in. As the Allied fleet concentrated their attack, The EDS Horizon plunged towards the heart of the massive Void Horde command ship. The fate of Earth, the Council, and the entire galaxy now rested on this one desperate gambit. The final phase of the battle was about to begin, and nothing would ever be the same again. The EDS Horizon streaked towards the massive Void Horde command ship, dodging beams of dark energy and debris from destroyed vessels. Inside the ship, General Sarah Chen gripped her command chair tightly, her knuckles white. "Brace for impact," she shouted. The Horizon plowed into the command ship's wounded center. Alarms blared as the human vessel pushed deeper into the living darkness of the Horde ship. "Status report," Chen demanded. Lieutenant Rodriguez, her second in command, quickly responded. "Hull integrity at 68% and dropping. We're inside the Horde ship, but we're taking heavy damage." Chen nodded grimly. "Dr. Wilson, we're in position. Activate the quantum interference device now." In the ship's science lab, Dr. James Wilson and Aisha Patel worked frantically. The quantum device hummed to life, its core glowing with an otherworldly light. "Device activated," Wilson called out. "But something's wrong. The Horde ship is interfering with the quantum field." Chen gritted her teeth. They were so close. "Aisha, can you boost the signal?" Aisha's fingers flew over the controls. "I'm trying, but we need more power." Suddenly, a new voice crackled over the comms. It was High Counselor Zix. "General Chen, we see what you're trying to do. The Council fleet will create a resonance field to amplify your device's power. But we'll have to get close, very close." Chen's eyes widened. "Zix, no, you'll be destroyed." "Perhaps," Zix replied calmly. "But as you humans say, sometimes you have to make the hard call. For the galaxy." Outside, the Council ships formed a tight circle around the massive Horde command vessel. They began to glow with a strange, pulsing light that matched the quantum device's frequency. Inside the Horde ship, Chen felt a change in the air. The oppressive darkness seemed to waver. "It's working," Aisha shouted excitedly. "The quantum field is expanding." On the main viewer, Chen watched in awe as waves of energy pulsed out from the horizon. The living darkness of the Horde ship began to break apart, unable to maintain its form. But the victory was short-lived. A deep, otherworldly voice boomed through the ship, shaking it to its core. "Foolish creatures," it rumbled. "You think you can defeat the void." The darkness around them began to coalesce, taking on a vaguely humanoid shape. Two giant, glowing red eyes appeared, filled with malice. Chen stood up, facing the manifestation. "We're not just defeating you," she said defiantly. "We're sending you back to whatever hell you came from." She turned to her crew. "Divert all power to the quantum device. Everything we've got." The Horizon's engines whined as they pushed themselves to the limit. The quantum device glowed brighter and brighter, almost too painful to look at. The dark figure roared in anger and pain. It lashed out, tendrils of darkness smashing through the Horizon's hull. "Hull breach on decks 3 through 7. Rodriguez shouted. "We can't take much more of this." Chen stood firm, even as her ship crumbled around her. "Just a little more." Outside, the Council ships were being torn apart by the Horde's death throes. But they held their position, their sacrifice amplifying the quantum device's power. Suddenly, there was a blinding flash of light. The dark figure screamed, a sound of cosmic rage and despair. Then, silence. When Chen could see again, she gasped. The Horde command ship was gone. In its place was a swirling vortex of energy, pulling the remaining Horde ships into its depths. "We did it," Chen whispered, hardly daring to believe it. "We actually did it." As the vortex closed, taking the last of the Void Horde with it, cheers erupted across the human and Council fleets. Against all odds, they had won. But the victory came at a great cost. Many ships, both human and alien, had been destroyed. The survivors limped back towards Earth, battered but unbowed. As Chen looked out at the starfield, now peaceful once more, she knew that nothing would ever be the same. Humanity had proven itself on the galactic stage, and a new era was dawning. The war was over, but the real work of building a united galaxy was just beginning. 1 year had passed since the great battle against the Void Horde. Earth's orbit bustled with activity, a stark contrast to the quiet blue planet it had been before. Ships of all shapes and sizes, representing countless alien races, moved about in carefully coordinated patterns. At the center of this cosmic dance floated a massive space station. Its design was a blend of human ingenuity and alien technology, a symbol of the new era of cooperation. This was New Horizon, the headquarters of the reformed Galactic Council. Inside the main chamber, General Sarah Chen stood before a diverse gathering of beings from across the galaxy. Some floated in anti-gravity fields, others stood on multiple legs, and a few were merely swirling masses of energy. Yet all eyes, sensory organs, or perception arrays were fixed on the human leader. 1 year ago, Chen began, her voice strong and clear. We faced extinction. The Void Horde threatened not just humanity, not just the Council, but all life in the galaxy. We stood on the brink of darkness. She paused, looking around the room. But we did not fall. Together, we fought back. We innovated. We sacrificed. And in the end, we prevailed. Murmurs of agreement rippled through the assembly. Chen continued, "Today, we are here to formalize what we have already begun. A new Galactic Council, one that recognizes the strength in our diversity and the power of unity." High Counselor Zix, one of the few survivors of the old Council leadership, floated forward. "General Chen speaks truth." He clicked and whistled, his words translated for all to understand. Humanity has proven itself not just as warriors, but as innovators and peacekeepers. They have earned their place among the stars. Chen nodded gratefully to Zix. "But our work is not done," she said. "The Void Horde may be gone, but the scars they left remain. Worlds need to be rebuilt. Refuges need homes. And we must remain vigilant, for there are still threats in this vast universe." She gestured to a holographic display that sprang to life in the center of the room. It showed the new structure of the Galactic Council, a web of connections linking different races and worlds. "This new council will be different," Chen explained. "No longer will a few races hold all the power. Every member will have a voice. We will learn from each other, trade with each other, and if necessary, fight alongside each other." As Chen spoke, Dr. James Wilson and Aisha Patel entered the chamber. They carried a device that pulsed with a soft, blue light. "This," Chen said, indicating the device, "is the heart of our new defense network. Built on the principles of the quantum interference device that defeated the Horde, it will allow us to detect and respond to threats faster than ever before. But more importantly, it will connect our worlds, allowing instantaneous communication across the galaxy." The assembly buzzed with excitement. This technology would change everything. "But with great power comes great responsibility," Chen cautioned. "We must use this gift wisely, not for conquest or control, but for peace and prosperity." She took a deep breath, looking out at the sea of alien faces. "I stand before you not just as a representative of Earth, but as a citizen of the galaxy. We have been given a second chance. Let us not waste it." The chamber erupted in applause, cheers, and various alien expressions of approval. As Chen stepped back, leaders from different worlds came forward to sign the new Galactic Charter. Outside the station, Earth shone brightly. No longer was it a small, isolated world on the edge of an unknown galaxy. Now, it was a beacon of hope, a symbol of unity and diversity. As the ceremony concluded, Chen found a quiet moment to look out at the stars. So much had changed in such a short time. The galaxy had faced its darkest hour and emerged stronger for it. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together. The age of isolation was over. A new chapter in galactic history had begun, and humanity was ready to play its part. The future, vast and unknown, awaited them all.